Are you an agency owner that is starting to grow your team and you want to make sure that your team stays productive and motivated? Well, if that's the case, then you need to master having employee one-on-one meetings. In today's video, I want to show you why these meetings are essential for your agency's success and then how you can actually use them to become a more effective leader. And if you stick around till the end, I'm going to give you my meeting agenda. It's the exact meeting agenda that I use, the questions that I ask, the topics that we cover for each and every meeting that I have with my team, so that I can continue to learn, grow, and help them become the best version of themselves and thus help our business grow. Now, if you're new here, my name is Greg Hickman. I'm the founder of Alt Agency, and we've trained over 700 agency owners on how to actually grow and systematize their business. And so this meeting agenda is the exact one that we've shared with our clients as they are starting to grow their teams and really starting to make sure that they're getting the most out of their team and that they can lead them effectively. And again, it all starts with this one-on-one meeting. Now, first, let's talk about why one-on-one meetings are important. So to me, these meetings are an incredible opportunity to connect with your team on a personal level, understand their challenges, and not only help them grow, but give yourself an opportunity to get constructive criticism and critical feedback on how you're doing as a leader so that you can continually improve. Now, for me personally, I will say that I think figuring out how to be a leader, your leadership style, and being able to work through other people is one of the most challenging and difficult things that I've personally had to do in business. And I know a lot of our clients that are historically like a practitioner and they're really good at doing their craft. As their team grows, the bottleneck becomes how effectively can they teach their team, help their team grow, take things off their plate. And all of that really falls down to how effective are you going to be as a leader. And outside of reading books, one of the best ways to get feedback on how you could grow personally to become a better leader is just directly asking your team. And again, this meeting agenda is a great opportunity. These one-on-one meetings are critical touch points that allow you to learn from the people that are helping you grow your business. Now, regular one-on-ones, I know some people that have them weekly with their direct reports, some people that have them monthly. Whatever your cadence is, having them regularly is really important. It really starts to build trust. It can boost morale with your team. At the end of the day, it really ensures that everybody is aligned with the company goals. Now, again, for me personally, these meetings have helped me get clear on the goals and aspirations of my team members, which I think is really important because one of my former mentors, Dan Martell, says, your vision needs to be big enough to hold the vision of each of your team members. And if you don't know what their vision is, how are you able to kind of show them the opportunity that exists by continuing to work with you and grow your business? So when you have these one-on-ones, you get to hear what's going on in their life and where they want to be and ask questions on what their growth trajectory looks like and where they want to be a few years from now. And you really get to have that connection that lets them share their visions with you so that you can further create plans on how you're going to help them get there to support their vision. Now, the second thing that I love about these one-on-ones and how they've helped me is that you get to coach the team. You get to identify areas of improvement that you see for them to make to become a better version of themselves and grow inside the role and the company, and also understand the personal challenges that they face. A lot of people say you don't have business problems, you have personal problems that just happen in your business. And the reality is that you might not know what's going on at the home or in the personal life of your team member that could be affecting their performance at the workplace. So these one-on-ones is a really good time to check in and find out how are things going? Where are you at? We have conversations around how their health goals are going, their financial goals, things that are going on with them as parents. And we get to kind of share feedback with each other as to how can maybe we be better showing up as leaders of our home as well. And so depending upon, the age of your team, you may not be covering some of those things, but again, it's really a great opportunity to help coach and lead your team members, not just on the things related to your business, but how they can be a better leader in their life. And lastly, again, the third thing that I think really comes out of these is you get the feedback on how you can improve. So let's dive into the meeting agenda that you can download using the link in the description below, and we'll walk through exactly how we use it. This is our Notion SOP. I have this open every single time I'm having a conversation with one of my direct reports. So the purpose of this document, as you can see here, is to keep a pulse on their progress and help them grow. So there's a really great quote: people don't leave companies, they leave bad leaders. And that one's always stuck with me. And I know that we have really good people and I don't want to lose them just because I'm trying to figure out my own own leadership game. So again, from a process perspective, you got to select the frequency. For us full-time employees, we start with a weekly one-on-one, 30 minutes tops. As you do this, you will likely find an optimal cadence for yourself. That might be every other week, at a minimum once per month. We were every other week for a while until we went into monthly. Now, part-time contractors, if you have those, weekly might be too much, but you will find that you're communicating in other team meetings. So you might maybe want to have those one a month as well. So now here's the agenda. For the first 1 to 5 minutes, I'm just checking in on life. How is life? How are you doing? This is where I get to hear how things are going at home, what's going on in the world. However they answer that question really always leads to fruitful conversation for me as the owner and me as the leader to get a sense as what's going on in their world. Are they, having any difficulties with, the tasks that they're focused on? And so that's the first 1 to 5 minutes. Then for the next 5 to 10 minutes, we cover kind of their focus and commitments for that week that we're having. So what is the focus? What are the commitments? How are they going? Where are they tracking on their specific goals and KPIs based on their role? Again, if you don't have those, you probably should have that by role. So this is a good pulse check on like where are they at on the things that are meant to move the needle forward in the business. Then I get them to share some wins. Typically we do 1 to 2 minutes on this. And this is often wins that they've experienced in the business or at home. Sometimes they'll even share feedback that they got from, say, a client if they're client facing. The next 3 to 5 minutes, we kind of dive into where they stuck. And this is your opportunity as the leader to coach them. And as you're doing this, so as they're telling you what they're stuck on and you're coaching and guiding them through how to get unstuck, at the end, before you transition on, I want to encourage you to check in and ask them like what was most useful from what we talked about. And it'll be really insightful for you as the leader because you'll understand like what sort of feedback is landing with them, how you could actually, bring that into next call. So we always want to check in when we're giving someone feedback and or giving them advice and or coaching them on how they can, get unstuck on the things that they're sharing. We always want to just check in and see like, hey, what was most useful? Because the way they answer that question will definitely help you as the leader identify like, did they get it and has it landed? Now, the next 1 to 2 minutes is where do you need support? So typically you want to transition to this by minute 25 or 27. Again, this is a 30-minute meeting. So I want to understand where they need support. And here's the question that you always want to end with. I want to always make sure that I have time for this one question. And it's what is the one thing I could improve on in leading you and or the team? Now, for one of my direct reports, she has direct reports. And so it's really helpful when she's able to share how I might be able to be a better leader to the other folks that report to her instead of reporting to me. And so as your team starts to grow and or not everyone's reporting to you, you're going to want to have not only the feedback from that person, but the running down the ladder and up the ladder of, hey, how could I be better for everybody, not just you? And so that concludes a 30-minute meeting. And while there's only a few questions, you're going to get a lot out of the conversation with your team members here. So quick recap, how is life the first 1 to 5 minutes? What's the focus and how are your commitments going this week? You get to review goals and KPIs. That's about 5 to 10 minutes. Any wins? Where are they stuck? Coach them, find out what's most helpful. And then you want to find out how can you improve and be better. As you start to have these more and more and more, the ability for you to have kind of a temperature check, a healthy pulse on how your team is doing and how likely they are to continue to be performing at a high level, spot any red flags along the way. This is the place that you're going to do it. So if you're kind of focused on becoming a better leader inside of your business, and you know that kind of getting to the next level of growth and hitting, any sort of financial milestones that you might have or revenue goals that you might have hinge on you being a better leader and helping your team grow, then I highly encourage you to start having these one-on meetings if you haven't already. Now, to make it even easier, like I said, you can download the meeting agenda that I just walked you through if you want to use it for your reference so that you can use it on your one-on-one meetings. And if you enjoyed this video, I want you to check out this other video where we actually break down our weekly team meeting schedule.